I knew he was gonna ask you that.
I knew.
Southwest is basically all hood. It's like.
You talking about you depressed? I be talking about this the most depressing gangster I know.
Yo, that's how it really is.
He's always depressed.
Like my favorite character, we all know.
Levi.
Great nigga Levi.
You already know. Robbers, kills, all that. All types of calls, crowds, and you feel me?
Soundstripe.
Hi, welcome to Over the Podcast. Today is our first episode featuring Rashawn Tucker. I'm your host, Carlos Overton. Here on Over the Podcast, it's a little bit of diversity. So today we will be talking about the 2022 NFL Draft with our own little analysis here too. Now, me and Rashawn, being longtime football fans, I brought him onto the show. Longtime friend too. How you feeling today, Sean?
I'm good.
Okay. Now let's dive right into the topic. So, who was your favorite coming into the draft?
Well, I got a couple favorites, but the person that really stood out to me the most was Sauce Gardner coming out of Cincinnati.
Why you like Sauce Gardner so much?
Like his physicality, he long, lengthy, great man corner, great cover corner. He just could do it all.
Could you list some of Sauce Gardner's stats for the people at home?
So I'm going to go over his combine stats. First, Sauce Gardner is 6'3", 190 pounds. He ran a 4.4 on a 40-yard dash. 2019, his freshman year, 31 tackles, 8 pass deflections, and 30 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. Second year, 28 tackles, 6 pass deflections, 3 interceptions. And his last year, 40 tackles, 4 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions. And mind you, Sauce Gardner didn't allow 1 touchdown his whole college career.
So as opposed to his home season, Sauce Gardner, he kept his interception ratio pretty consistent, 3 years, 3 interceptions for each year. Pass deflection ratio pretty decent, 8.64. And then his tackles, even though they went down his second year, it drastically went back up to 40 from 28 to 40.
I see the reason why his interceptions are so low, because they don't throw the ball his way, because he's a lockdown corner. So that's probably why. So you just can't look at interceptions. Is not everything for DBs. You got to look at film. You got to look at film.
Sauce known for his lengthiness and his pure aggression. So like you said, they don't like throwing it his way because they know he can get a little physical. A little analysis I got from Sauce, he's a great aggressive player. Even though, like you said, he's a DB, coaches like him at that corner position because he can guard multiple spots with his length. But he's a great DB too because once he gets in man coverage, he's very aggressive. Did you like anybody else coming to the draft besides Sauce Gardner?
I really like the wide receivers coming in this draft. I got a couple of wide receivers I like. Jameson Williams, Jake London, Garrett Wilson, Jahad Dotson.
Definitely a great lot pick. I'll probably say for me, tie between Chris Oliveira and Drake London. Pretty much like this. So, Chris Oliveira coming out of Ohio State. Also played ball too. You can see a lot in his game too. Like when he jumps for the ball, his explosiveness. What do you like most about Chris Oliveira? I mean Drake London.
Drake London, I like his height. Like he like a red zone threat. Like he like a little mini Mike Evans, Calvin Johnson. Like you know how Calvin Johnson was tall. He got great hands for his height, so that'll be very good for the Falcons.
Definitely a great pickup for the Falcons. Drake London, 6'4", 219.
Wait, 1 second, bro. Let's talk about the third pick, Derek Stingley. Let's talk about that pick. How you feel about that pick?
Derek Stingley. So, coming into the draft, I feel like Sauce was the best corner. Derek Stingley, I feel like he got picked ahead of Sauce because of that one breakout year he had in 2019. But that's the only thing. A couple of these players in the draft, they only had like 1 or 2 good years. Derek Stingley only had 1 year in 2019 where he had 38 tackles, 15 pass deflections, and 6 interceptions. I do feel like he's a little more faster and maybe more athletic than Sauce. And probably, but I feel like in terms of a corner, I'd rather take Sauce. DB is probably up for debate though.
And one more, what you think about Kyle Hamilton falling in the draft? Because my draft had him going top 5, number 1, like... They had him all over the board.
Oh, you talking about that?
The safety.
The safety for the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
See, Kyle Hamilton is pretty interesting. He went 14th in the draft. 6'4", 220, ran a 4.5, 38 vert. 131 broad jump. And he has a pretty good stats, like 63 tackles in his second year, 51 solos, 7 pass deflections. I feel like he went to a perfect team, the Ravens. We already know the Ravens prestige with their defense, like Ray Lewis. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the Ravens, they knew what they was getting, even though they lost a receiver in Hollywood Brown. They upped and got a center.
Hollywood Brown had drop issues, though.
That's what I'm saying. He had drop issues, and then he dealt with some injuries too, right? So they got a center and they got a safety, which is 2 good pickups. Because I always felt like that's good because Lamar getting him a center that opens up the run game even more. And then with the safety, well, he's just going to be developed. Kyle Hamilton will just be developed even better and better, going to a consistent defensive franchise.
I got another question. Who do you think was the winners of this draft?
The winners of this draft, I feel like the Ravens was the winners. I do feel like the Eagles was the winners. I liked the Jordan Davis pick. And then they got trade for A.J. Brown. They give it, what, 3rd round? That's it?
Yeah, 3rd round.
That was a steal. Compared to the Dolphins, they give them like 5 first rounds just to get Tyreek Hill.
I think the winners of the draft, I got 2. The Eagles and the Jets.
The Jets? Oh, yeah.
Jets had 3 first round. Look what they did with them picks. First pick, Sauce. Second pick, well, they got Garrett Wilson. And the last pick, Jermaine Johnson. See, that was a steal. Out of Florida State, that was a steal.
That was definitely a steal. Now, who do you think, this is very early, who do you think is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I'm not sure. I think it's going to go to one of the receivers this season.
Receivers?
I think it's going to go to the receiver.
Do you have a couple nominees in mind?
I would say James Williams, but he going to miss a couple games, recover from the injury. I ain't gonna lie. I like Chris Olave winning it. Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson.
What's interesting to me about the Chris Olave pick is the Saints. The fact that they're so over the cap. They got a nice receiver coming out the draft, and they recently just got Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, with the Chiefs law. I'm wondering how can they even pay him? That was interesting. I think the Saints is going to make a bounce back once they get more consistent. Because Jameis Winston, he's not a bad quarterback.
And Michael Thomas coming back this season, too.
And Michael Thomas coming back.
So they got Michael Thomas with Chris Olave.
That's good. And you can't forget Alvin Kamara.
James Williams, he's a good quarterback, too. You got to see what he was doing last year before he got injured. Look at the numbers before he got injured.
That's what I said. I feel like they probably is in the future going to get another quarterback, but they got a good quarterback enough to at least make a good playoff.
Yeah, playoff run. They need a new coach. They got a new coach there. Sean Payton retired.
I forgot they new coach. But yeah, I do know they got a new coach. And then look at the division now. All they really got to worry about is Tampa Bay. Panthers ain't really going to be that impressive.
Panthers need a new QB situation.
And even though the Falcons, they did get good in the draft, they're still in that rebuilding phase. What's up, my OTE family? And as you guessed it, I'm today's sponsor. The reason I made the sponsorship video was so for those who don't know me, my name is Carlos Overton Jr. Obviously, I'm the host for Over the Podcast. I'm a senior at Motivation High School who plan on attending Clark Atlanta University down in Atlanta, Georgia for a class of 2026 in the fall. But first, I made this sponsorship because Over the Podcast is sponsored by my videography company, Over the Edit Productions. You know, our saying goes, if you need a camera, we there. Any angel investors watching this, hit me up for the business plan, Instagram, all that, be in the description. But this is about Over the Podcast. The reason why I made this video specifically was so not only you can get a good look at who I am, but also so I can tell you why I started Over the Podcast. I started Over the Podcast because my ultimate dream is to be on TV, more so pertaining around sports broadcasting, but I also like to do other things. Like I always say I want to do a game show. I mean, that'd be tough, especially like Jeopardy or something. But I mean, right now, I made Over the Podcast because I said, hey, I have the accessibility and I can get the equipment to put myself on YouTube as like a little starter up. My overall dream for Over the Podcast is to be so big, bringing on so many different people, and like I said in the theme song, raw, diversity, uncut. That is the whole point. You know, I could bring you on, you could talk about something minor, like, well, your background not minor, but if you want to talk about that, talk about your past, You can do something minor like sports. I'm a heavy sports guy. We could definitely engage in that. Or you can do a more sensitive topic like racism, the education system, how it's broken. Like I said, racism going for thousands of years. We just had multiple school shootings. That's something you could obviously talk about. Like different things, whatever you're passionate about, you could come on and we could talk about it. Like, it's not even really for the sole purpose of content. Content is just like a subdivision. The whole point really is to spread the word out for whatever you're trying to really spread. The diversity is what makes the podcast so great. The fact that everybody has different backgrounds, everybody come from different environments. So nobody's really going to have the same type of mindset. And that's something I will engage on, and we just make a whole video about it. The whole point over the podcast truly to be, even though say podcast, it's I'll kind of make it to like a whole TV type segment, but somewhat like a talk show, more so. A talk show where you come on, we just talk. Like I tell people all the time when I bring them on, don't even think about the camera. Sound like you're talking to me. And that's the whole point of it. Over the podcast is meant to be something so great, so big, that even though it's small right now, as the time goes on, as more seasons get out there, as we get more exposure, as my following gets bigger and bigger and bigger, Over the Podcast will be so global. I could just go around the world seeing different people, different environments, connecting with more people. That's why I love it so much, is the fact that I can bring on people that I'm probably cool with, don't really talk to. Like mainly I've been bringing on a lot of school friends, so people I'm cool with might maybe not talk to outside of school, but as we get on the show, we just start conversating and you start going closer with that person. You gain a connection, and then like I said, it's benefiting them too, because whatever they want to talk about, they're spreading the word of it. Like, I'll give you a hint. In a future episode, I bring on Amaya Wiggins. He talks about what the streets are like in Philadelphia. Another one, Jaden Manning, for a future episode, he talks about the community of Philadelphia. Different things like that. Over the Podcast is going to be big. It's going to be wonderful. And it's something I'm excited for. And it's something I hope my OTE family continues to grow. And don't be shy. You know, in the comment section, you could be like, I want to come on, or you just get DM me on my Instagram. And if y'all have any suggestions too, just throw in the comments. I'll take time out to read it. I always love constructive criticism or regular criticism. So it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, so overall, I appreciate all y'all who tune in constantly and will be tuning in constantly to watch my videos. I appreciate you tuning in just to this video at all. And not only I hope your day go good, I hope you continuously love the channel. And remember, OT, over the edit, over the podcast, whatever, and you yourself, you're over everybody. What does that mean? Why did I make over everybody a hashtag? So you can have the self-confidence you need whenever you share or anything. To remember, not no cockiness, but I mean, sometimes it's okay to be a little cocky, not to go overboard, but to remember that you're over that person. You're over everybody else. So don't be shy from chasing away from your dreams. And one more thing, I would like to use this time to also sponsor Body Armor. That superior hydration. Right now, you see I got the fruit punch. Really good. Fruit punch. You can never go wrong with that. Body Armor it has the persona of an athlete's drink, but really it's something that I drink on the daily. I'm not even really an athlete at all. I do it more so for the hydration. You ain't got water nearby, but you need something to feel rehydrated. Body Armor is perfect. It has natural flavors, coconut water, electrolytes, antioxidants, and all types of B vitamins. Body Armor, that superior hydration at local stores near you. No, for real though. Like, if you live in Philadelphia, you can really get this from the Poppy store. I do all the time. But yeah, go get your Body Armor.
Like, growing up in Philly, it's like you don't know Philly dangerous because you just a having fun kid. You don't know it's dangerous until a certain situation where you see some shit, like, and then you realize, like, oh shit, I'm living in some shit. And then you just live it. That's all it is.